Hello, my friends, and welcome to another episode of Ghost Stories in Folklore. Tonight, I am going to share the story of the Ceely Rose house located in Lucas, Ohio, on the grounds of the Malabar Farm complex. There are many paranormal reports, just not of the house itself, but also from the grounds that surround the house, including the Guy Berry house and the main barn of the Malabar Farms. But all of these locations, my friends, are within walking distance of each other. I don't have the time, my friends, in this video to share the full Ceely Rose story with you. However, the story will be coming out shortly in other videos. I need to, however, tell you something that is a starting point for my report here. So I will say that in 1896, Ceely Rose killed her father, David Rose, brother Walter Rose, and mother Rebecca Rose by poisoning their cottage cheese with arsenic. She also attempted to kill others, all in the name of love, and this was based on a lie. Although she was arrested for these crimes, she was found not guilty by reason of insanity and sentenced to a mental hospital for the rest of her life. You see, my friends, it has been reported that Ceely had the body of a young woman, but the mentality of an 8-year-old. And she became obsessed with her neighbor friend Guy Berry, who she made the statement to him one time that they were going to be married someday. The young man finally coming to the point of just getting tired of the constant attention, lied to Ceely and said that they could never be together, and this was because their parents would not allow it to happen. Now this upset Ceely to the point that she poisoned all of her family members and attempted to poison Guy's family as well. She thought if she did this, they could finally be together. Again, the point of this video, my friends, is to discuss the ghost stories and folklore that are related to this location. So let's focus on that for now. First, let's start with the main barn on the Malabar Farm complex. Mr. Rose, Ceely's father, once ran a grain processing mill on the property. Of course, this was back when he was alive. And when the property was purchased to construct Malabar Farms, pieces of the foundation and other items from the mill was used to construct the main barn. Now, moving ahead to the year 2003, there was a play that was written and performed at the barn called The Ghost of Ceely Rose. This play was based on Ceely Rose's story and her family, but something must have drummed up a disturbance with Ceely's spirit, since the play was plagued with issues from the time the rehearsals began. Sometimes the sound system would not work. Things would come up missing and doors would slam shut during performances. Strange noises could be heard, and one night even the light bulbs exploded. Now let's move on to Ceely Rose's house itself. The first report that I'd like to mention is that of a little boy who was living in the home with his family. At one point, he was upstairs by himself, and his parents heard him talking with somebody. His father went up the stairs and entered into the room, which once was Ceely's bedroom, and the little boy was sitting in there by himself. His father asked him, "Who were you speaking with?" And the little boy replied, "That lady in the white nightgown that smelled like flowers." The next report is that of yet another sighting of Ceely. There have been few who have driven past the house and noticed a young woman staring out the top bedroom window towards the house where Guy Barry once lived. And then when they tried to get a better look, she just disappears. Another report that I have found about the Ceely Rose house is from an employee who was working late at night on the farm. He was hearing screaming coming from the Rose house, so he hopped on his ATV vehicle to run down to see what all the ruckus was about. However, when he arrived at the house, all the lights were off, the house was dark, and there was nobody inside. There are also reports that come from Guy Barry's former home, which now serves as a hostel for the Malabar Farm complex. There are those who have reported the feeling of their feet being tickled in the middle of the night, waking them up. And there are also those who have reported seeing a woman dressed in a white nightgown sitting on a couch, and the smell of flowers. Could it be that Ceely is still roaming the grounds of Malabar Farm? Is she looking to meet up again with her parents and her brother? Is she still looking for Guy Barry with whom she fell in love with? There are those who work on the farm, who have visited the farm, and who have investigated these locations, and all of them say, yes, she is still there. But you be the judge, my friends. You can go to Malabar Farms and take a ghost tour during the summer months and find out for yourself. Just don't eat the cottage cheese. If you like this episode of Ghost Stories and Folklore, be sure to hit the like button. And if you would like more videos from Panady videos in the future, make sure you hit the subscribe and the bell for notifications. If you dare.